Hey everyone, this is DW's Darius and welcome back to the fish room. One of my continuous goals is to show the beauty of my fish. They are some of the most colorful creatures on earth. They come in unique shapes and sizes and can be both soothing and entertaining to watch. Too bad they don't see each other in the same light. These are some of the most hateful, evil, and heartless creatures on the planet. It's very disturbing to know that an animal could be so beautiful, but yet so wicked. Some bad things happen in the fish room, and today I want to share some lessons learned. This is my 350-gallon tank, home to larger cichlids from Central and South America. These fish are known for being very beautiful, but also very aggressive. If you keep any type of cichlid, aggression is almost guaranteed. Aggression is a skill that these fish develop to survive. They use aggression to secure homes and territory. Aggression helps them to secure a mate and to produce offspring, and to defend their offspring. They use aggression to build social structures and to maintain balance in their ecosystems. Aggression is normal with these fish, and anyone who attempts to keep these fish as pets must be aware of this. I thought I knew what I was getting into when I started keeping these fish, but here I am again, shocked after discovering a new level of darkness with these fish. I think for me, the problem is that these fish go so long without major conflicts. We have months and months of what I would call peace, normal behavior like what you see here, reasonable aggression, a little bit of bickering for the hierarchy, but nothing serious. And then out of nowhere, we have a public execution of one of the highest ranking fish in this tank. I came home from work the other day, and this is how I found my female Vieja fenestrata cichlid. Of course, she was still inside the main tank, being attacked by almost every fish in the tank. But the main attackers was my second female fenestratus, who was much lower ranking than this female, and the dominant fish of the tank, my male Vieja bifasciatus. I separated her in an attempt to help her recover, but she would die a few hours later. What makes this even more disturbing is the backstory behind this murder. The deceased fish lived inside this tank, and she was the third ranking fish in this hierarchy. The top ranking fish was my male black belt cichlid, and the second ranking fish was my Vieja bifasciatus. Even though this fish was third ranking, she had a close relationship with the top ranking male in the tank, so she could start problems with other fish knowing that the black belt cichlid would provide some backup. This allowed her to pick some fights with the higher ranking bifasciatus that normally would have been too much of a challenge for her. She was also very hard on the lower ranking fish, especially towards my second fenestrata cichlid. I noticed that my black belt cichlid wasn't eating, which is a sign of internal parasites, so I took him out of his tank and put him in my quarantine tank. By the way, he's doing much better now, and I'll be adding him back to the main tank soon. When I took the black belt from the 350, I unknowingly took away the fenestratus' backup. The first few days, everything seemed normal. Then one day after coming home from work, I found her half dead. My bifasciatus likely started the assault, and these fish have a gang-like instinct, so when they saw a fish being wounded, they all started to join in on the attack. As I mentioned, the fish that seemed to be the most vicious towards her was my bifasciatus cichlid and the other fenestrata cichlid. This means that for these two fish, this was payback. The idea of payback and retaliation is normal for humans, but it shocks me every time to see fish practicing it. When you see fish, it's easy to imagine that they just live in the moment and respond to situations as they happen, but these fish hold grudges and wait for the perfect opportunity to get the upper hand. I'm amazed at how smart these fish actually are, but I'm almost discouraged from trying to keep these fish together in communities. If that wasn't bad enough, the other day I was looking at this tank. Even though there are so many fish in this tank, it doesn't take long for me to realize when someone is missing. I have 4 silver dollars in this tank, and one was missing. One of my prized sea tiger silver dollars, which also happens to be the most expensive fish in this tank. After looking around, I noticed that my panther crab was struggling in the shadows, and there it was. My silver dollar was dead in the claws of my panther crab. I'm guessing the crab grabbed him while he was sleeping. I was tempted to add the crab to my peacock bass tank for some swift judgment, but instead I'll move the silver dollars into another tank. I think they're the only fish that's at risk. The cichlids in the tank are bigger and more responsive, and all the small fish sleep at the top of the tank, so they should be safe. I was looking for a second panther crab to keep us company. Needless to say, that won't be happening. It's been a while since I had problems like this occur back to back. Usually I go months without any issues. I always try to learn from every casualty in the fish room, to prevent future occurrences. With the cichlids, the biggest takeaway is that I need to remember that all these fish are killers. They look cute and may seem docile, but given an opportunity, they will all murder anyone in their way. With this knowledge, I must stay 2 steps ahead of them when interfering with the hierarchy. When I took the black ball cichlid out the tank, I should have expected some ripple effects within the ranks. If I ever do something like this again, it has to be followed up with like a major rescape to cause confusion and to destroy territories, or by adding some other fish just to distract everybody. I don't have a solid answer yet, but the main thing is not to underestimate these fish. As for the crab, crabs are savages, and I should have expected this behavior. If he decides that he wants to be a fish eater, the only solution is to remove him. I hate sharing these types of videos, but it's the reality of keeping these aggressive fish. Usually I only have good things to say about these fish, but every now and then they show their darker side, and I think it's important that you know what these fish are capable of. Anyways, thank you for watching this video, and I'll catch you on the next one.